see. Okay, so we've run out of the Wudinna Council, and I couldn't make out what the other sign was because they put them parallel to the road instead of a bloody right angle to the road so you can read the damn things. But all of a sudden we've got a corrugated track. Okay, here we go, National Park, we're crossing the boundary. Sturt's Lake, 6 kilometres, Mount Sturt 14 and the Homestead Righto. Sturt's track, soft sand, reduced tyre pressures. Wudinna Conservation Park today. There we go. Hi Skippy. Skippies. A whole bundle of them. Where's that one going? He's sitting still. Righto, that's a good boy. Side road when wet. Here's the side road. Maybe that was the side road because when this is wet this would be underwater. It's in the middle of the lake. I think we might be putting the hubs in somehow. And that's what we're driving around just at the current time. Gas wires only. Dogs prohibited. Gawler Range National Park. Heading for a hill called Mount All Alone. I think that's him just there. So Mount All Alone is apparently 290 metres tall. So that's Mount All Alone. And we'll pan around, have a look at the countryside. Edward John Eyre, 21st of September 1839. Must have been walking around and bumped into this piece of rock or something or other. He came past here, obviously. And there's the hill, right behind us. Right in front of us at least. My favourite signs. Sign that you can hardly read the thing. What's the point? You may as well redo them, people. Please redo them. The hill actually stands 348, 68, 48 I think it's metres above sea level. It's probably the hill explorer Edward John Eyre climbed on the 22nd of September 1839, from which he had the extensive view to the south over a generally low-level country, with occasional deviations at intervals to the north. The view is obstructed by the Gawler Range. It's some of what I can read. There's Clark telling us we're entering the Gawler Range National Park. Well, reminding us where we are, one or the other, because we actually came through that sometime a little way back. here we go, it tells us all about the place. There's a list there of what's four-wheel drive, what's not, degrees of difficulty for walking tracks and doing all that sort of thing. See, it's pleasant enough view. Shearing shed and to park headquarters. So it's all staff accommodation down there, apparently, and the park office and all that sort of stuff. All staff accommodation down there. Okay, so what have we got here? The shearing shed. Uh-huh. That all housed nice and closely to the shed, which is just over the road. Beautiful backdrop. It's the shearing shed and the yards. The right opposite is the shearers' quarters. So there's some couches and things in there. And in the quarters, there's a bed. There's actually two beds. There's a shelf, a wardrobe, and that's it. Ablution block. I wonder if that's a meat house or something. That's exactly what it is. It's a meat house. Hang it up there, the bushes all around it. Probably dribble water over it to keep it cool. And I would imagine that that's the mess. Food hall. This is the kitchen. And the pantry. The old Coolgardie safe by the looks of things. Wow. And as I thought, the dining room and the mess. Even a barbecue. So these are the holding yards, and this is the shearing shed. Let's have a look. classic stand shed. And the last shearing happened here in August 2001. Through these doors here, this would have been the indoor holding pens or holding area. Bring them here, bring them in through these doors into the pens, and then out to be shorn. And the sheep dip. And that's it. It's the shearing shed and quarters. Now, according to the map, the next section, up to the Kawili hut and everything, we're on 4-wheel drive. So the start of this part, it's like just pretty flat land through here. What is this? A Challuni Dam. So this is the Challuni Dam. Looks like a giant crater. The fence running down to it there. The channel through, I guess, to this other piece over here. And that channel comes through here. Nice country out here, if it's even if it is damp. I assume the water really flows when it's happening. Big gully there, and in fact there it is. There's the. It's almost a river course. So this is the turn off into the Challuni camp. About 3 kilometres in. It's a track as opposed to this road, which is also classified as a track, but this one's classified definitely as a 4-wheel drive track only. I love these trees. Like a bustard sitting there. Trap the young players if you're going a bit quick. Getting a little deeper into it. We're not too far away from the camp area, I don't think. And here we go. The Challuni campground. So there's a fire pit there. Lanes and fences. Just telling you not to drive there, I suppose. It's another fire pit. Unallocated campsites. Choose any available unnumbered site after booking online at. I see. And there's a thunderbox down here. other fire pits. So yeah, come in here and be pretty much self-contained and out of the way of other people if you want to. And that, they say, is the end of the road. This is a parking area. Hello, there's Skippy. And here you park and then you do your hiking from here, walking trails, up the hills, or into the hills, or whatever it is. Picnic table, right there. Right, so, that's Challuni. Let's have a look at some of the hills as we go out. Okay, so we're back at the main track again. That was Challuni campground. Alright, we're climbing. And travelling around the hill. Yeah, there's a hut ahead of us. That's the Kawili hut. That'll be. Kawili hut, 1 kilometre. That's the Kawili well tank. Fire pit there, so you can obviously, well, you can camp in there. Surely you can book the hut to actually stay in. Kawili campground. Right opposite the Kawili hut is this hill. Let's go and have a look and see what it's all about. Yeah, it's just a hut. Open front door. This fireplace. And I'd imagine it'd be bloody cold in here at night time. The door is only half height. The other hut's got a couple of beds in it. Table. Stove, sink. And it says display only, do not use. And there is a shower. facility in here as well. And there is a comfortable restroom here as well, toilet anyway, long drop. Apparently there's a track of some sort to Yandinga Falls. Whether it's a driving track or a walking track, I don't know, but let's have a look and see what we can find, if we can find anything at all. There is a sign. Yandinga Falls. Here's our other vehicle. Yandinga Falls. Parking, hiking, no camping. Just a tiny flow coming down the hillside. Now we're supposed to be going to look at the organ pipes later on, but from the photos I've seen so far, that looks very much like them as well. Same sort of structure. I'm going to keep moving because apparently we've got a fair bit to see, and I don't know how much time I've got to do it all in. Okay, on our way. It's interesting, they zigzag this up the hill. I suppose it's too steep to go otherwise. Well, that's what they're thinking. So it goes sideways across the hill. Lovely. Beautiful countryside. He's a darker colour. Very curious animal. The one that we saw, or that I saw back down at the campground back there, he was very much a grey, light grey sort of colour. Just grazing in the grass. valley beside us. It's wide, it's deep. It's not full of water, but I bet it was just the other day, that's for sure. So we're approaching the road that goes into Matera, I think it is. It's a campground. So the Matera track, Pontana farm is 10 kilometres to the right. Old Painey is 13 kilometres, which is back to where we started from, basically. Oh, you can't see everything. We're going to go on to Pontana, the outstation. It's 10 kilometres. Some of those trees are pretty close to the edge of the track. You wouldn't want to nick your tyre on one of those as you're going through. So trees, the ones that are on the ground, that is. This is the Pontana outstation. Okay. This is the sound of silence in the Gawler Ranges. All I can hear is a ringing in my ears with tinnitus. I'm assuming that this is some sort of tank, I guess, and the sheets of metal on top do two things. Firstly, catch the water and then run it inside, and then stop it from evaporating. So they hold the machinery in the shed. I didn't expect that we'd have a barnyard find of a Falcon or a Holden GT in there. Plenty of space. Tons of space. Not a lot of grass around the place. So it's giving the lawns a workout, I guess. So there's no access, you can't get in. Which is no surprise really. It'd be nice to have a look inside though and get some pictures. Who said there's no access? And there's electric light and a lounge room. Kitchen. We can go to the front door. Front room, left hand side as you walk through the front door. Now this room could have been a bedroom or it could have been maybe even another formal living room, judging by the fireplace. The gate is locked, but the fence is missing. I think this is where they did the chaff cutting. Or was it something else? Pontana outstation. I believe that our next port of call is Conical Hill, which is apparently a lookout point. Actually managed to get inside. I was surprised. Back doors were all locked. The front door did open. And that did surprise me, but that's alright, we got inside. And then what even surprised me more was I pulled the light switch and it worked. The lights came on. So we were able to get some footage inside with the lights on. Lit the place up a wee bit. So this Pontana station was purchased in 2000 by the government, and it was turned into Gawler Range National Park. So whether the whole property was Pontana, need to do a little bit of research on that. So onwards to Circular Hill, Conical Hill, Conical Hill. More a four-wheel drive track than any that we've been on so far on the main track anyway. I'm talking about the one where we went off to the campground. But this is all very damp through here too. Having fun doing this. You don't do it for a while and you forget what it's like with the old girl. And with the new steering rack, she's a lot happier, I think. She feels good. Oops. I must say, I think she loves it without the caravan on too. Had the caravan to clean the engine out, to work it a bit that way. Everything's working just perfectly here at the moment. We're starting to get into the hill area now. I think I expected more of this when I left Wudinna this morning. It's been a varied day, it's been fantastic. Aha. Conical Hill. Look out down there. And this is the view from the top of Conical Hill. Okay, so we continue. So next up, apparently is Scrubby Peak, 131. This is now very definitely a four-wheel drive track. Look at that down there. Nice. Nice. Oh dear. Look at it. Just gorgeous. It's a nice wide piece of road here. It winds around a bit. But, we just came across a couple of roos, so in the distance, so slow down and just in case there's more of them around. We've got a right-hand bend sign. That's the only one that's been there. The rest of them we just had to negotiate the road as it is. Interesting. Certainly been on a variety of roads today. That first one into the conservation park was as rough as guts. Then we had that slippery bit through the conservation park. Apart from the off-road tracks, or off-track tracks, it's only been that bit coming over Conical Hill that's been really determined as a full-on four-wheel drive track. campground here to maybe go in and have a look at. It's 2 kilometres, Scrubby Peak. Oh, caravans. I see, so the ride in's not going to be too bad then. So have a look. Campground, Scrubby Peak car park. Campsites. Tell you what, if you're manoeuvring this with the bloody caravan, especially if it's a longer one, I'll be taking the side out of it with a couple of these trees that are hanging over the edge of the road. And there it is. Like a peak to me, I'd suggest that the peak is where you walk up to somehow. There's the toilet in there. No caravans in here. I see, okay. I'd suggest I wouldn't be taking the caravan into the other one either, somehow. So where would this be taking you? Interesting. There's a walking track there, which I guess takes you to where the peak is that they're talking about. Okay. Take the mirror off. We're coming up to the turn up to the Yandinga Falls. Signpost saying it is so, 400 metres. Campground's 2 kilometres, the falls are 3 kilometres. And again, caravans. So, looks as though this end of the park may have been developed for a different sort of tourist, maybe. Yandinga Falls are straight on, the campground's in there, and there's a caravan in there. So this is Yandinga Falls when it's running, which it isn't at the moment, which surprises me with the amount of rain they've had apparently. It's nestled between that hill and that hill. And some interesting rock formations. Well, it seems as though the organ pipes are next, and fair way in off the road, and there's some sort of walking to be done. I'm a bit more than I'm used to so far today. My right foot is starting to give me a bit of jip, so I'll have to see. Thing being is that they got a walking trail, they don't tell you how far away it is. That would help an awful lot. They said, yeah, walking trail 200 metres, or 400 metres, or 12 kilometres. They all feel like 12 kilometres. Okay. Generally the signposting has been good. It's been excellent, really. And I'm not going to bother about looking in the campground in there. The roads generally have been good, been what you'd expect, been better than what you'd expect actually. As I said, the only thing I would pick a bone about is that if you've got to walk to see something, doesn't tell you how far it is, and that would be helpful. Organ pipes, 10 kilometres. Okay. No buses, no caravans. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. Saw those ones this morning at the fall, that falls that we went and had a look at. Something very similar. Also seen something very similar at Mount Capitan in New South Wales, so they can certainly help things by either running a grader over this track or dragging one of those big tractor tyres or something over it, flatten out the corrugations a bit. they put this blue metal stuff on the road to firm it up a bit. And so doing created another problem in the fact that it now bundles up and creates these corrugations. Yeah, there's still corrugations there, but nothing like there was when they had the blue metal on it. Just an observation. It's 3:19 and I am totally jiggered. I'm not fit, we know that. And if you're going to do walks, well, you build up to them. Now, I've done quite a few walks today, but that one, that was a killer for me. Most people know. I have only 2 complaints with regard to this national park, and it applies to some others as well. The main one is if you've got a car park and your attraction has to be walked to, at least put a bloody sign there saying how far away it is. Whether it's 20 metres, 100 metres, 400 metres, kilometre, doesn't matter. Put the distance away, because what you're doing is you're going in there and you're walking blindly in, and you might be underprepared, you might be overprepared. It's just, yeah, the mind boggles. Everything else that they've done here has been perfect. Signage around the place is brilliant. The roads, great, what you'd expect. Better than what you'd expect. And I think the only real 4-wheel drive track that we encountered was over Conical Hill, and that was brilliant. I loved it. Hello, little fella here. Right there, 2 of them. And they are grey. So we'll have to check that out. Grey with white, yeah, grey with white collars. Or waistcoats, if you like. Yeah, so everything else has been brilliant. Campsites, great. Everything's good. Just put a bloody distance from the car park to where you're going. The organ pipes, I don't know how far that was, but it was a lot longer, or a lot further than what maybe I anticipated. But this is just me, but I was talking to someone else and they said, yeah, it's the only thing is they haven't done those distances. So that's important. The other thing is one that I think, okay, national parks, how much money they got, all that sort of thing, I don't know, but the fact of the matter is our national parks aren't just here for the fit, the firm, and the healthy. Why on earth should people who are in wheelchairs and the like be excluded from seeing these things? Now we have to have wheelchair access for everything else. Now I've parked up this tree before, but you have to have wheelchair access for everything else. Why should national parks not be expected to build wheelchair-friendly pathways to the attractions that they've got there for people? So that's my beef. That's the only 2 things that I've been able to pick on this park for. my case, it's my own fault that I wasn't fit enough to do that walk, but it would have still been nice to know how far it was before I left to do it. That's the important thing. Yeah, he's a different one. He's got grey down the thing, he's got red round his neck. It's sort of interbred or something. Alright, so I have to make a decision. It's 34 to Metapar and then down to Wudinna along the main road. So it's 41 across to the Shearing shed, but we're going to go quite that far. And then we've got to get down there to the park and 50 back to Wudinna from there. So we're talking around about 100 kilometres. Do that in an hour, so we're not going to get back to Wudinna. It must be 5:15, 6 o'clock. So that's if we don't stop. So we're just going to drive and have a look at this as a scenic drive now, unless something's right on the edge of the road. Need to spend a couple of days out here, come out and camp or do something like that. Sitting right in the middle of the road, right beside the road. He's got a brown bloody neck on him. He's got the brown neck with a white waistcoat. Interesting. So this is old painting on Policeman's Point. We're a kilometre in and 2 kilometres. I don't know how close we can get. Let's have a quick look. Policeman's Point's 2 kilometres, and that's probably up on the hill somewhere. This is the old Painty homestead. Looks sort of similar to the other one. So it was in a kilometre, well it's not that far, that's for sure, it's just here. Policeman's Point. It's up the hill somewhere. Two kilometres. Make it quick, Murray. More rangacoos. Policeman's Point. Whatever the 2 kilometres means, it's a 2 kilometre return. I guess from here, that's a walk. Yes it is, and it doesn't say how far. So it's a walk and photography. Okay, we're on our way. Again. Like that one there. This is a beautiful drive across here. Everything from open grasslands basically to bush, the hills, so far most of the kangaroos have been seen. Grazing in the grasslands, but just then there was one right beside the road that took off just as we came up to it in the bushland, so they're everywhere. So they should be, it's their land of course. And getting campground. Hill Walk Trail. Back into the semi-open grasslands and then the open grasslands again. So we're not far from leaving the park now. We're turning back towards Wudinna, put it that way, it's 4:23. Okay, so we're coming up to the turn off where we turn back to where we came in this morning. It's the park administration and offices and things, all that, where the workers live and everything, the rangers. We're on the left that hill there on that left hand side. Wudinna, 54 kilometres. And that includes going through all that swampy land and everything. Okay.